Hello, everyone. This is Rata. He's my best friend. Rata is my 10-year-old Australian Blue Heeler. A year and a half ago, he was diagnosed with diabetes, and 6 months later, he went completely blind. This is my second video, and I will be showing you how to use the AlphaTrak blood glucose monitoring kit. And if you haven't purchased one yet, there is a link below. In my first video, I just talk about the symptoms that led up to Rata having diabetes. And if you're interested in that, I'll also put a link below to the first video. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's talk about the AlphaTrak blood glucose monitoring kit. This is what you get with your kit. You're going to get a user guide, which is really easy to follow. You are going to get the diabetic diary, which this is great. You can keep track of all your results and bring this into your vet. This is the meter. The meter also keeps track of all of your results. This is the control solution. If you feel like your readings are off, follow the directions for the control solution. It works really well. This is your test strips. This is your lancet, and these are the needles for your lancet, and you get this cool little carry bag as well. Okay, so let's get you going so you can test your animal as soon as possible. So what you're going to do to turn the meter on, you need to get a test strip. So you take a test strip out, and if you notice on the side of the bottle, 20 is for dog, 22 is for cat. So whichever animal you have, you just want to make sure it's calibrated to the right one. So you just want to stick this in. You don't want to touch these two little dots. That's where you're going to put the blood sample. So put that in to turn it on. That's your display screen. Says 20, which 20 is dog. If you needed cat, you would just go 1, 2. And there's a blood drop on the screen right there. So you're ready to take your sample. The meter will only stay on for 2 minutes once you stick the strip in. So what I do is I just inch it back out. So you just want to make sure the display screen shows up and that your code is right. Set that aside. You get your lancet, and with the lancet you just pop the top off, put your needle in, take that off, stick the top back on, and then right here there's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and halves. And what this is the higher the number, the further your needle comes out. So with Rata, I use a callus on his arms, so I use a 5 because it's really thick. But if you're using an ear or something, you can probably go lower. And what I did is I started at the lowest and found out which one I could get the blood sample. And I still only get the littlest dot on 5, but I figure a callus isn't an area that would bother him at all. And then you're ready to go. So then you just pull back here and boom, pull back. Okay, so we're ready to go. Let's get a sample from Rata. Okay, we have our patient Rata here. We're ready to take a blood sample, and this is the area I use. He has this callus right here on his arm. So that's where I'm going to be getting the blood sample from. Okay, so as you see, I still have the meter off, but the stick is in. So I'm just going to, I just grab his callus like that. And I just get the littlest drop of blood. If you can see, it really is just such a tiny drop of blood. Then I'm going to take my meter, and I just push the stick in the rest of the way. There's your display screen you want to see. Code 20. And now the blood drop shows up, so you're ready for your sample. So all you do is you just put one of the sides right on the blood sample. That means it's read it. So now it just is reading. And there is Rata's blood sugar, 247, which he just ate, so it's a little bit higher. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but he's still within diabetic range. Diabetic range, like I showed you right before this video, is between approximately 100 and 250, and a non-diabetic dog would be between 80 and 120.
I made a lot of mistakes when Rata first got diabetes. That's what inspired me to make these videos. So I decided to just put some more information that could help you because it really is a little bit overwhelming when your dog is first diagnosed. So as you know, diabetes is high blood sugar. The symptoms include excessive drinking, peeing, and hunger. And I go over all this in my first video. Well, the opposite of diabetes is hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. The symptoms include weakness, staggered walking, coma, and it actually can lead to death. And one of the only ways hypoglycemia can happen is when you're regulating your dog and they get too much insulin in their system. So if your dog does experience any of these symptoms, what you want to do is you want to put honey immediately on their gums and call your vet. And actually, my vet told me I carried honey everywhere with me because this can really happen too when you're out exercising. So you just want to always carry honey with you. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I carried honey everywhere with me. And if your dog, anything happens to your dog and you're like out on a trail walking and they experience this, they're just going to have to lay down right away. You do not want to move them. If you cannot carry them out of wherever you are, you need to just stop and sit there with them. And if you have your phone, I would call your vet. And like I said, I would immediately get some honey on their gums. Okay, I created a list of tools for success. Those tools include your AlphaTrak blood glucose monitoring system. You also really want to track your dog's water intake daily. You want to stay on a consistent schedule. You want to exercise your dog daily. And like I just told you, you really always want to have honey on hand. You just don't want to forget it, especially when you're out exercising your dog. You want to have good communication with your vet, patience, awareness, and positivity. And you know, my dog inspired me to make these videos because I did make a lot of mistakes. And so I really just wanted to help a lot of people because it is really overwhelming at first. And I just want to inform everyone and encourage positivity and let you know that it will be okay. And, you know, everything can turn out really great. And, you know, all of this stuff that you have to do kind of just turns into a daily ritual with your dog. And it really just doesn't seem like that big of a deal once you get used to everything. And once your dog is, you know, you've got your dog on a good dose, you know, things kind of just go back to normal. And if you didn't know what your dog's daily water intake was, it is approximately 1 cup per 10 pounds, depending on the breed, weight, age, and activity level of your dog. So thank you so much for watching my second video. I hope you found it informative and encouraging. And we hope to see you next time in our next video, which I'm going to be talking all about insulin and syringes and a whole bunch of tips that I learned. You really don't want to miss out on this video because there was a couple things I was doing really wrong, which could have just gone really bad. But luckily my vet caught them before that happened. So stay tuned for my next video. I should have it out really soon. And until then, much love from Rata and I.